What's up, gents? Hope you guys are having a great long weekend, Victoria Day weekend. Hope you guys are responsibly having fun and on the grind to get better and just have fun, because getting better is the most fun thing that you can possibly do. So today I want to talk to you guys about how to not give a fuck. The subtle art of not giving a fuck about other people's opinions, because that's literally what they are. It's just opinions. Everyone has one, and you don't need to listen to them. Now, there are some opinions that, you know, it's always good to kind of think about people's opinions and kind of like, leave it where it is if it doesn't benefit you. But it's always good to keep an active mind and open mind about things. But you don't need to, if someone says, hey, like, I think you should do this, if you don't want to do that, then fuck it. And that is the subtle art of not giving a fuck. It's basically, if you want to do something, life is short, we're all going to die anyway, so it might as well do what you want to do if it doesn't hurt anybody, and explore life. So if you want a real big in-depth explanation on everything, how to not give a fuck, a great book and resource is Not Giving a Fuck, or The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck by Mark Manson. It'll fill you in on like a lot of concepts on it, but I'm here to fill you in on some kind of summarized basic principles that you can just apply now, so you don't need to read a whole friggin' book. Here's some basic principles that you can use just right away and get not giving a fuck about shit, and actually focusing on what you guys want to do without like other people's opinions stopping you from doing it. Because let's face it, a lot of the time we're trying to get to something, and you hear somebody say like, oh, why are you trying to do self-improvement? Like, why don't you just get a normal job and work normal hours and do everything normal? And yeah, like, self-improvement can be normal, but also it can be extraordinary. You can go from a 9 to 5 to being a rocket scientist if you want to. Anything's possible, and with self-improvement you're just going to get better every day. Like, the outcome's limitless. And our first point on the subtle art of not giving a fuck is, let's start with controlling what you can control, and things that you can't control, it's not even worth your time. So like, say you're going about something, and like, your job, you hate your job, and you're like, man, I can't do this job anymore. Like, every day I go in, it's just painful. Like I just can't stand it. I cannot stand a single second. There's options you can do. You can try to get a raise, and then it makes it a little more tolerable. At least you're making good money. Or you can say fuck it and leave that job and find something else, or don't just abruptly leave, because you need to get income, but keep your options open, get the Indeeds going up, and look for another job. That's something you can control. Now, on the flip side, so like things that you can't control, like, don't even worry about it. Like, it's either you can do something about it or you can't. Like, say, you got stricken down with an illness, which is, life is terrible. That can happen. But the thing that makes a man is how he reacts to the situations that he is facing. So you can take it laying down and you can bury your head in the sand, or you can defy your situation and say, you know what, this situation is not the best, but I'm gonna face this head on, and I'm not gonna bury my head in the sand, and I'm gonna do what I can. Maybe it's spreading awareness of said disease, or whatever it is, giving people information on it, even just showing your life in a vlog and say like, hey, I have this hard situation, but I'm living my life to the fullest and it's not taking a hold of my happiness. And that's the difference between like doing what you can do with stuff you can control and the stuff that you can't control. Like, you need to learn to put it out of your mind, and it's a muscle. It's a muscle. You're not going to do it all at once. Don't think of it as something that you can flick a switch. It's a muscle that you need to work on, because if you really have a hard time, like when you face problems and kind of like just saying like, no, like, you know, this problem, I can't do anything, so I'm not putting any attention to it. A lot of people can't just flick that off like a switch. It's a muscle you need to build. So just like every day when a hard situation comes, flick that, like try to flick it off and just like shrug it off. Every time you do that, it's like a power up in your not giving a fuck bank. We'll call it that. Another thing that that you can imply into your life that will help you not give a fuck is your problems are not unique problems. So what I mean by that is there are people out there, you may think you have the worst problem ever, or a very like unique, this is the only a problem that I face, no one else is facing this. I'm willing to bet $1 bazillion that someone's facing that problem. And you know, I don't want to take the if you are facing something hard, like it doesn't mean that your problem isn't important. But what I'm really saying with this is there are other people facing the problem that you're facing, and life is about solving problems. I'm saying this now, it may, for some of you, it may not seem like it right now, but solving problems in life is the most rewarding thing that you can possibly do. And this comes from some, like I used to honestly, like not that long ago, think that all my enjoyment was getting it out of like material things, just like playing video games, playing music, just like anything that's like entertainment, which that stuff, it's all fine and dandy. But when you get all your enjoyment from like things like that, like it's not as fulfilling as tackling the real harsh world that we live in, solving problems and helping other people solve their problems too, and then coming out on the other side and saying like, man, life is hard, but also it's beautiful and easy once you apply the principles. Like there's many principles and we're all gonna go into this. It's just the start. The only way to solve problems is to take action and do it. And you can't stop and think too much, because when you do, it's like a roller coaster that you can get stuck on, and it's hard to get off. Man, guys, look at this. I'm just down in Truro, Nova Scotia, just beside a little river here. I forget what the river's called, or if it even has a name, but it's like just a little river rolling through here. Another thing, I'm gonna say it's definitely something that I find very rewarding in the subtle art of not giving a fuck, is to explore anything that you have an interest in at the moment. And my next point is to explore things that you want, regardless of what other people say. If you have an interest in it, then go for it. If it's something that you later find out that, you know, you're not all for it, you're not good at it, even if you're not good at it, keep doing it. And if you keep doing something and readjusting, evaluating each day what you did that wasn't optimal for performance, adjusting, doing better each day, you're gonna be good at whatever you do. like you can do anything, bros. Like, just if you have an interest in something, tackle it head on, and don't let other people discourage you, because when you get to the end of your life, there's actually a study, and I think a nurse went into a home, I forget what the homes are called, but it's a homes where older people go to basically die. She went in and surveyed a lot of, I don't remember the exact number, but a lot. I think it's like around 100 older women and gents that were passed away, and their number one regret of everything was that they wish that they wish they took that risk in life and pursued what they wanted to pursue, that other people or other situations discouraged them from not doing. And this is powerful knowledge, because subtle art of not giving a fuck can ensure that you don't make that mistake, that you pursue what you want to pursue and that you're interested in, and you don't have that regret at the end of your life. The best thing you can do in life is, if you have an interest in something, you do it. No questions about it. If you can't afford it, if you think that someone's gonna not approve, find a way around that. If you need to borrow some money for the meantime, do that to do it, and then just pay it back. And yeah, for our last piece of information, I'm gonna give to you guys about the subtle art of not giving a fuck. Is every failure that you make in life is going to lead to a success. And I don't want you guys to fail purposely and think like, oh, I'm gonna get more successes because I'm failing purposely. I mean, just when you're going about life trying to figure something out and you're scared of, oh man, what if I fail? What if I ask that girl out and I fail and she turns me down? Or you try to get a job, you do the interview, and you think it went well, or maybe you know it, you tanked, and you're like, oh man, like you're beating yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. It does have some benefits where it pushes you to pursue, to get better. But that should be a short-lived cycle. There's a better way to do it. But do it in the way that when you have a failure, know in your mind that, hey, I tried this thing, I failed. I'm gonna be successful, because with every failure, you learn something, you get a little bit better, and through the hard times and the failures, that's when success comes through. You have to fail, like, so many times. Most of the time. Sometimes you get lucky, and you find the right way, and it's frickin' sick, because you don't need to go through the pain. But going through the pain is better than just having the quick wins, because you learn more usually. And I just want you guys to know, don't be afraid to fail, because if you're afraid to fail, it'll stunt your growth. Because if you're playing it safe too much, it kind of goes hand in hand with what I was saying about letting people's opinions and situations stop you from doing things. If you let your own opinions of failing stop you with things, you'll regret it later on. And if you can cut it sooner rather than later, you'll get into something like making a YouTube video, walking down a path, looking at the nice water. And you guys watching, if you have a hard situation, don't be afraid to fail and get that success that you guys deserve. So until next time, gents, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.